What do politics, psychedelic colors, and galactic domination have in common? Absolutely nothing, except they all collide in Transgalactica. Transgalactica is a strategic engine-building game for 2 to 5 players where you'll be vying for influence throughout the galaxy as you try to outperform your opponents and gain the greatest favor with the Galactic Senate. This game is designed by Daniele Tassini, published by Devere Games, and a round of it will probably take you about 2 to 3 hours to play. Let me give you a breakdown of how the game works, and we can meet back here at the end for some final thoughts.
Before I get to the moment you've been waiting for, I wanted to tell you about the Sell Trade program at Noble Knight Games. Now, as gamers, we all have games that are cluttering our shelves that we either don't have the right group for or might even not like it. Well, now you can turn those unappreciated games into cash or store credit. Noble Knight Games buys thousands of games and gaming products. It's easy to send them a list of the games that you'd like to sell or trade. Now they'll send you a quote and even pay for the shipping of the games. Get treated and paid like royalty while you sit back and collect cash or store credit. To get started, click the link in the description of this video or in that upper right corner there, and then click the Sell Trade button.
In Transgalactica, each player represents a faction within the Galactic Senate, competing to expand their power base and manipulating the ever-shifting political landscape. The board is made up of different planetary systems, each offering unique resources, technologies, and opportunities to influence. The game is played over a series of 5 rounds that are each broken down into 3 phases: income phase, action phase, and maintenance phase. The income and maintenance phases are fairly straightforward and mainly involve preparing for and wrapping up each round. In the action phase, players take turns choosing actions, and this continues until all players have passed. Each player has 2 different kinds of workers. These cute little babies, also known as crew, and these big beefy boys, aka captains. These 2 disparate workers represent an interesting action following mechanic, which is basically just another form of copycat. On the vast majority of your turns, you will place one of your captains on any empty main action space, represented by these colorful diamonds. After you have done all the things from this action, other players may choose to leech off of your hard work and place one of their workers on the secondary action space and take its benefits. The main action space is always a stronger or cheaper option than the secondary one. This game is all about climbing up the tracks on the main board and your player mat, as well as expanding your presence across the central map. Most of the main actions are tied to these tracks and the map. Here's a quickfire breakdown of the available actions. The blue technology track is all about developing the fanciest gadgets which break the rules of the game in your favor. The higher you climb on the track, the stronger of technology you will have access to. The purple exploration track, which is purple, but slightly less purpley than another one coming up later, thrusts you further along your journey on the central map, allowing you to discover new planets and build outposts on them, unlocking income and exclusive actions. You also get to perform your civil duty of cleaning up the galactic riffraff and defeating space pirates. The red military track bolsters your exploration efforts and offers you the strength levels you need in order to be able to beat up those space pirates. The yellow production track is where you can cash in on all your ambitious exploration efforts and collect resources for various planets that you have expanded to and placed outposts on. The green track is where we get to get political. Climbing up this track grants you access to lucrative mission cards that carry various rewards and benefits, and also increases your personal political level on your player board, which is important because the level of your politics limits both your income and your mining ability. Talk about government overreach, am I right? Speaking of income, the more purpley purple track represents trade and commerce. This action either introduces a new income ability on your player mat or unlocks one of your tech markers for future use. And the blue, but again not as blue as the other blue, mining action, adds a new mining ability to your player board and triggers all of your collected mining tiles up to your political level limit. And last but certainly not least, the flashiest of all action spaces, the shiny rainbow Omni action allows you to choose any other action on the board and trigger it. Besides these main actions, you may also send any of your crew or captains to an available action space on a planet where you have an outpost. This action cannot be followed by other players. That's a lot of options. But wait, there's more. 2 more things to be precise. First, in addition to all these actions, on your turn, you may freely complete any of your mission cards as long as you meet the requirement and pay the cost depicted on the card. Doing so rewards you with the benefit listed on the right-hand side of the card. And lastly, you can claim a seat in the prestigious Galactic Senate if you have satisfied the requirements of any of the galactic decrees. You must permanently sacrifice one of your little guys to take this seat amongst the Transgalactic elite. Doing so earns you an amazing bonus. After 5 rounds, the game ends and it's time to come back to planet Earth. Each player chooses one of the 2 objective cards they started the game with to score. Additionally, everyone gains 1 point for each of the remaining credits and 1 point for every 3 leftover resources in their cargo bay. The player with the most points wins and is forever affirmed of their political superiority. After all that colorful chaos, it's time to land this ship and talk about what does or doesn't work. Let's roll it out with some pros and cons. Pros. First, the action following system, although not new, is extremely clever and keeps everyone constantly engaged. You're rarely sitting around waiting for your turn. It's awesome. Secondly, and now I know there might be some varied opinions on this, but the table presence. Man, I honestly think the design, artwork, and table presence are literally out of this world. That alone is enough to make me want to play this game over many others. Edu Valls did the artwork, and in my opinion, he killed it. Third, the variability, particularly with the random selection of wealth cards, skill tiles, and tech cards that you play each round with, makes the idea of running this one back really enticing. And some of those skill tiles are pretty exciting. Lastly, the track climbing and some of the synergies that you can unlock between them is quite satisfying. You'll have many normal turns, but inevitably a few epic combo turns that will hit and it will feel pretty electric. And now for some cons. Okay, I know others have commented on this, but it has to be said. The rulebook. I am passionate about rulebooks and I read a lot of them. And unfortunately, this is the lowest point of this game. The rulebook is pretty rough and has some definite mistakes. This is particularly ironic because the game comes with 5 rulebooks in 5 different languages that are each 32 pages long. Shoot. I mean, I haven't read the other 4, so maybe they're better, but yes, the rulebook was a miss. That being said, Devere has recognized this and you can find corrections online. Secondly, the theme. While I love the design and presentation, if you're looking for some kind of connected theme that makes sense, this game isn't that. It's a crunchy Euro that looks pretty, but it's not a thematic experience. One more thing that needs to be said, and this might be a pro for you, and it might be a con. That's really up to you. If you despise the work of component setup when you get a new game, such as punching things out and all that, then I suggest you find a friend in your gaming group that lives for that, because this game comes with 319 stickers to be affixed to the little wooden pieces. Now, my 7-year-old daughter Avra loves doing this stuff with me, so we had a blast. But this is a lot of stickers. The rulebook says you don't need to put them on, but come on, the pieces just look way cooler with them on. Quick math on that. 319 stickers at 10 seconds a sticker, which seems like a decent rate, is an hour of stickering. Anyways, you can feel however you want about that. You should just be aware. Honestly, I'm a huge fan of Transgalactica. I think the mechanics work really well. I think the gameplay is exciting. The progress you make, the combos you pull off, I'm here for all of it. Daniele Tassini is easily one of my favorite designers, and this game has that beautiful Tassini crunchy feel, all with some brilliant colors across the board. This game is not only going in my personal collection, but it's a shoo-in for my top 10 games of 2025 list. But enough about me. My guess is that if you enjoy games like Tapestry, Teotihuacan, another Tassini game, The White Castle, or Minos, there's a good chance you'll dig Transgalactica. Basically, if you like crunchy Euros with tight decisions, and especially ones where you get to climb up tracks, this game is for you. Or if you just like fluorescent colors, boom, you've got it right there. I'm Ryan from the Game Boy Geek, and I'm so thankful you decided to swing by and join today. Thanks so much for watching. If you've played Transgalactica and would love to share your thoughts, please drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Anyways, I'll see you next time, hopefully somewhere a little closer to Earth.